Hey guys, it's the accountant going over some examples today. We have prepaid balance sheet items. Today is prepaid rent expense, and we have a scenario. It is March, and my rent is due April 1st. I will send a check on March 25th for April's rent. What journal entries do I need to make? And then I have the matching principle here, because we're gonna pay it out in March, but it's not due until April, but cash will leave in March. So what that'll look like is accounts payable is going to pay out this expense early on the 25th so that it reaches our landlord in time. And in the perfect world, we could send and have checks cashed on the first day of every month, but that's not how it works. So we have to do it this way. So when accounts payable sends out this check, normally they would debit an expense account, rent expense, and then credit cash leaving the door. But in this case, the cash is leaving, but we still have an asset of some form. So we're gonna debit our first journal entry on the AP side is to debit prepaid rent. Prepaid rent expense. This is in March, on March 25th. And then credit cash. So then, when April rolls around, we're going to actually debit our rent expense and credit not cash, but prepaid rent expense, because cash has already gone out the door and we were just holding it as if it were an asset in the meantime. Okay. And then in our second scenario, it says the same as scenario 1, but the term of my lease is from April 1st to May 31st, so 2 months. We pay rent on the 25th of the month before it is due. So on March 25th, we're going to do the same thing. We're paying for April's, so we're going to debit prepaid rent and credit cash. On April 1st, we're going to move it to expense and credit prepaid. But on April 25th, we're going to pay for May's rent. So it's going to look like 2 months of expense are going to hit in April. So we'll have to do the same thing first, move it to prepaid, and then move it out of prepaid in May. Or what I like to do, and a little trick I learned in practice, is leave it in here. Leave it prepaid in here. And don't even do this journal entry to move it out. What I like to do is let them pay May's rent credit cash. So this is actually May's rent hitting in April. So there is an expense hitting in April, as it should. Come May, AP is not going to do anything because they've already paid 2 months of rent. That's where we go back to the beginning, and we're going to actually move it out of prepaid at the last month. So in May, we will do a journal entry to rent expense. We can write and credit prepaid rent. And that'll make sure that we have nothing in March for rent expense, 1 month in April, and then we move it out in May. There's our second month of expense, matching in the months as it should according to our lease, April to May. We have 1 rent expense in April, 1 hit in May, so we're all squared away. Thank you guys. Please comment below. Have a good day.